Members of the committee, starting at our far left here, if you can just introduce yourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. My name is Honorable Stevens Mokhalapa.
Dumelang. Le kae? Ka lebitso ke Neville Dilebo, ke member ya committee.
Afshin, my name is Franz Ngobeni. I'm a member of the committee.
Sanbonani Dumela, goeiemorgen, good morning. My name is Ramonda Abrams and I'm a member of the committee. Thank you.
Dumelang, le right, Krishap. Libzo laga ki matsidi somfikwe, ke le lokola committee as well. Thank you very much. We hope we'll do well today. Thank you.
Sanibonani, ngegama nguThulani wakwa Kunene.
Thank you, members. And I am Anton Alberts. I am the chairperson of the committee. So the MEC Ramakgopa, is still on her way. She will join us later, as well as the head of the Department of the Economic Development Department, HOD Moholwa. They are on their way. And then I just want to hear, the MMC Mlambu, is the MMC here at all? Not, I don't see. And then the ward councillor, Councillor Labuskaghni? Not either. They might be joining us later then. Right, thank you very much, members. So let's just go over to apologies. Victoria, are there any apologies?
Good morning, honorable members and chair and the community. Chair, I've got 3 apologies. One from Member Mazibandela, one from Member Morirti, and one from Councillor Labuskaghni. But apparently the MMC for Economic Development will be attending on his behalf. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Victoria. And then we go to the adoption of the agenda. Members, can we adopt the agenda? Can I have a mover?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you very much,
I
Member
second,
Ngobeni.
Chair.
And thank you for the second, Member Mfikwe. Right. Then we're going to hand, can you hear me? Okay, I will speak closer to the mic. So we will now hand over to the department to present the report. We will be handing over to the DGG, DGG Palumko. If you can, your team can come up here and present the report to the audience. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Honorable Chair of the Committee and honorable members. Dumelang.
Performance of Q1. At the high level, I'll focus on the group, then I'll go straight to the department, then I will conclude with the work undertaken in the region. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we neglected to tell you that there are translation services. So if you want to hear translation from English into any of your languages, then just put up your hand and then they can hand out these translation devices, the headphones, and you can listen to it in a translated language.
It is the entities. Chair, I'm going straight to performance for Q1. wanted to indicate that the department had a very slow start in the financial year. They were able to achieve 37 of those targets and missed 10 of those targets. But that was just high level. Let me just head straight to the actual performance. So this is a group performance is as follows. In terms of the group performance, in terms of everyone, including the department, the achievement there was 75%. GTA, the Gauteng Tourism Authority, was able to achieve all their targets, achieving 100%. TASES was able to achieve 83%, and the GDED at 78% and GEP at 73%. Chair, now I'm going straight to the specifics for the department. The performance is as follows. For financial management, the department was able during the quarter to pay all its supplier invoices within 15 working days. And this is important because you want to make sure that the SMMEs that are supplying us, that we've done business with, are paid within the 15 days so that, you know, issues of revenue, issues of being liquid, issues of being sustainable is promoted. But also we're able to achieve all our preferential procurement target. So, so we have a target of 15% for youth-owned businesses. We're able to overachieve that target. 56.83% of goods and services we purchase from youth-owned enterprises. 68.15% of our goods and services we purchase from women-owned businesses. And 29.86% of our goods and services were procured from township-based enterprises. Chair, we also have a responsibility and have set ourselves a target to support cooperatives during the quarter under review, which is quarter one. We're able to provide non-financial interventions of support to the 24 cooperatives. We also have a unit responsible for consumer affairs in the department. Through this unit, we're able to do 80 business compliance monitoring inspections. We're able to coordinate 3 Kondisishishini Lakho campaigns, and we're also able to do 175 consumer education and awareness empowerment programs. So Kondisishishini Lakho, or Fix Your Business, is basically in a campaign wherein the department goes out to communities and make sure that the information is shared in terms of what is available in terms of the products as well as services that the department is providing to the community, so that you can have businesses being formalized, those that are informal, but those that have challenges being assisted depending on what the challenge is. Chair, we also have Gauteng Liquor Board as one of our important entities of the department. So they have a responsibility to make sure that they raise revenue. 16.2 million revenue was raised, 16.2 million of the revenue was raised. 3,798 compliance inspections were conducted during the quarter under review. Chair, we also have a responsibility to ensure that our entities are efficient and they are executing within the mandate. So these are just the indicators and targets that we have set ourselves to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. Chair, in terms of intergovernmental relations, political forum, we managed to convene it. This is to try and make sure that we engage all the spheres of government. Where there are blockages, we have an opportunity to engage our counterparts in other spheres of government, particularly municipalities, so that we plan together, we execute together as well. Gauteng Economic Barometer report, this is really about intelligence in terms of making sure that we are evidence informed as a department. Every policy that we it must be based on evidence as well as research. Chair, this is the work that was done in Nigel as well as the townships in the greater city of Ekurhuleni. Starting with the work that was conducted by or implemented by Gauteng Liquor Board. So the colleagues were able to do 386 inspections in the region. 2 operations included a provincial joint. So it basically means that we're able to work with other law enforcement agencies. In these 13 outlets we visited, 2 non-compliance issued and 2 outlets closed. In terms of the GLB-led operations itself, 4 operations were conducted. In this, we collaborated with Department of Community Safety. So the results were followed. So 44 outlets were visited, 7 non-compliance notices were issued, and 8 outlets were closed. So this is basically the work that was conducted by our colleagues in Gauteng Liquor Board. But we also have a responsibility of just raising awareness in our communities. So for example, during the quarter under review, we're able to conduct workshops on focusing on illicit and counterfeits, as well as underage drinking. So it was more of a career expo that we conducted at Buhlebezulu Secondary School in Togoza, as well as Gauteng. As I've said in this presentation, yes, it does touch on Nigel, but it will also focus on greater Ekurhuleni region. Chair, we also have done, so the Gauteng Liquor Board was also able to issue 33 licenses in the liquor licenses in the Ekurhuleni region, and there's no license that was revoked by the board during the quarter under review. In terms of consumer affairs, there was a lot of educational awareness and exhibitions that were conducted in places like here, Nigel, in Jameson Park, Gauteng, Tsakane, among others. So these are basically consumer education exhibitions to try and make sure that we capacitate consumers when it comes to their rights as well as responsibilities. Chair, I've indicated earlier on that we have a campaign called Kondisi Shishini Lakho. So basically, this is about targeting informal businesses and prospective entrepreneurs, thus really creating an awareness of service offerings and compliance information so that they are compliant, so that then they are able to do business with government. So one was done here in Nigel, in KwaZenzele Community Center, and others was done in Gauteng. And then the blitz was also implemented here in Nigel. In terms of the work that was done by our unit sector in industry development, it is as follows. Through the agro-processing work, we're able to support 5 SMMEs on mentorship on financial and management accounts. In terms of furniture sector program, we're able to capacitate the MSMEs with business mentoring, financial and technical assistance, skills training, as well as compliance support. In terms of chemical support program, we're able to target 43 MSMEs, and this program basically, at this point, we're still identifying the gaps. It's an ongoing program. We are still in the process of identifying the gaps, and then so that we're able to be specific with our interventions in terms of the chemical support program. Chair, in terms of inclusive economy, which we now call integrated development services, we have done work including enterprise and supplier development support. We've worked with Ekurhuleni municipality in terms of assessing their strategy to make sure that it is responsive, to make sure that it will be able to grow economy, the local economy, as well as create jobs, as well as supporting the MSM, the cooperatives in strengthening their financial management capacity. Chair, that would be the last slide. Thank you so much. I'm gonna allow my colleague Dumelong from GDED to do his presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the presentations, make some notes for the comments you want to make later or the questions you want to ask later. All right, so that we can make sure that you are ready to engage with the department once they finish their presentation. Thank you. So the next presentation will be by the Gauteng Growth Development Agency, also known as the GDED.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members, Dumelang, Abshen. Lina ki Dumelang Mohorosi, I'm speaking on behalf of Gauteng Growth and Development Agency. We call it GDED, and we have about 5 companies that I'll be speaking to you about. So I'll also be informing the community about the work we managed to do, or the Q1 results from April until end of June, and also deal with the work that we have done in the Eastern Corridor and work that we are doing. As was reported, we had 18 matters to deliver and we fell short in 4 areas. The companies in question that I'm speaking to now would be the holding company. It does infrastructure development, which I will talk to, and also investment facilitation, which also I'll speak to. The next company that we have is in the automotive space and is based in Roslyn, though we have auto hubs, one in Winterfell, the other in Chamdo, in Kagiso, but I'll also make reference to the newly launched auto hub, which is based in Alexander. Then we have the Innovation Hub, which is responsible for innovation and does have presence in about 10 townships, and we did do some work at 3 areas within the Eastern Corridor, including here in Nigel. Then the major one that you would be interested in, which also has got presence in this area and springs, we call it the Gauteng Industrial Development Zone. So you may be interested in the work coming out of that entity. Lastly, we have the Constitution Hill, the home of the Constitutional Court. So there are 4 matters. I'll quickly deal with those matters that we managed to deliver. From an investment facilitation point of view, I'll deal with the 3 companies that we managed to assist to invest the 9.2 million. I'll also be giving an example of companies that we assist to expand and to export. Some are based in the Eastern Corridor, I'll deal with those. The Automotive Development Center, on the other hand, assists auto component manufacturers to be globally competitive. We managed to overachieve in that respect. There's also the incubation center that we have at the Fort Plant. So this is in Silverton. We managed to overachieve on the target. Those that are in the trade space, we do assist them to become competent to take the trade center, and we also slightly achieved on that target. The auto hubs in the townships, I have mentioned where they are found. We did make the target. The innovation hub, on the other hand, was meant to deliver 2 matters, which it did achieve and slightly overachieved, and this has to do with the data centers that we have at, this is based in Linwood in the city of Pretoria, city of Tshwane. And the revenue target we managed to achieve. The Gauteng Industrial Development Zone, on the other hand, I will get into detail thereof. There is a precinct that we currently are developing, and we at 70% or so of the bulk installation, so we are developing that. The maintenance plan target we have achieved. There's the revenue target as well, which we slightly overachieved. And there are SMMEs that benefit from both the operations and the construction that is underway in that zone. Lastly, the Constitution Hill, there are 2 areas that we did not make that I will slightly speak to. But from an investment point of view, in the Q1, we did manage to facilitate 3 companies, firstly in the rail space, and we know Nigel has got an advantage in the space, and the 3 companies in question that we managed to assist include Traction, there's Africa Rail, and lastly BFG. Next to that was investment both in the Lanseria development as well as in Sandton Waterfall. Lastly, there's a company manufacturing ceramics that we assisted. The matters that we did not achieve, I have at the AIDC, the Auto Industry Development Center, we fell short of training SMMEs based in the townships, and largely due to SMMEs not signing up for the training. However, the plan to mitigate the shortfall, I have mentioned that we'll be targeting the Alexander Automotive Hub to make the target and to train other SMMEs based in Alexander. On the training of employed individuals, we fell short slightly of 15 persons, and we are planning to make the target through the 200 individuals that we will be training in the current quarter. The Constitution Hill, on the other hand, we did not make the target of the visitors to the actual site. However, we have targeted the Mandela Month, the Women's Month, as well as the Heritage Month to make up that target. And related to that would have been the revenue that people would have spent when visiting the center. And with the activation in the second quarter, we're confident that we will make the shortfall. So that is the work we did or did not do in a way of being transparent. Now, some of the investments that we facilitated in the Eastern Corridor include MTech. This company is also in the rail, though based largely in Kempton Park. Score Metals, we know, is based in Al Road on the other side of Germiston. Signal Hill is in the food and beverage industry based in Clayville. So Raya Steel actually is here in Nigel, bordering Mpumalanga as we go somewhat to the north of here. The other work that we have done, as I mentioned, is assisting companies to export and to match them to opportunities. Once again, we assisted a company called MTech, and they exported specifically to Malawi, but also other areas within the SADC area. BT Industrial exported to DRC, Zambia, Namibia, and Mozambique. Shuraya Steel exported to Botswana specifically. BFG exported to Uganda, the USA, and Tanzania. Unique Gems did not inform us, but they are based at the Gauteng Industrial Development Zone. Lastly, in this quarter, we assisted a company that is partnered with the Chinese specifically to use technologies in the management of the Durban port. Now, insofar as Ekasi Labs are concerned, we are targeting empowering young entrepreneurs with innovative solutions, but we're also providing skills development, specifically working with Cisco. It's an international company based in the ICT sector, and we're also using Webotech, which provides the training that is accredited by the relevant SETA. Now, the work we have done in Nigel specifically was at the Almac Development Center, and we trained 82 young people over a period October to February in the current year. And they were provided with training on the basis of IT essentials, and IoT being Internet of Things. So we have provided such training. Same training, IT essentials and digital skills we provided to the 98 young people in Tembisa. That was in the period up to March, but currently up to June, 72 learners were trained. We're having 3 sites. One is a 7.5 hectare, which is fully developed and operational. Next to it, we're having what I will show now. Lastly, we're having a site in Springs. We're working together with Impala Platinum. We're busy developing the designs both of the bulk and also the top structures that would be there. So this is a representation. On the lower left part, you're seeing the small site there. That's the 7 hectares that I'm saying is already operating. Next to it is the 29 hectares just adjacent. Also at the OR Tambo International, it's 29 hectares on which we currently are building, constructing the bulk. We 70% odd there. Lastly, to the right, you can see the site, 13 hectares here across actually from Springs. So this is the sites that I was saying we currently are busy developing. The work currently offered at the 7.5 hectares, there's the products that you would ordinarily find Woolworths and largely for the export market. So this is just an example of what they are producing over there, and this is part of some of the buildings that we are having. The site itself has got 2 functions. One is agro-processing that I just demonstrated. The other is jewelry manufacturing. The achievements that we can report is about 1,900 construction jobs, and in the operations, just above 3,000 jobs. And we can report that 70 young people have been mentored and about 310 SMMEs benefiting from the operations. The 29 hectares that I was saying, we're busy installing bulk looks like this. And like I was saying, we are at 70%. We're hoping to complete the bulk installation, and that will be followed by the top structures. There's 2 investors that we are working with that would be building. And on the same side, we can report that to date, we have generated 252 jobs, and currently there's 36 that are working on the project. And that there are SMMEs that are benefiting. Currently, we're having 24 that are working on the site. The Springs Precinct, as mentioned, we are at the design stage. And the design stage, we're talking bulk designs and also the top structures. And at this site, we are hoping to manufacture fuel cells, amongst other things. Those would be platinum-based products, focusing on the fuel cells as alternative energy. We're also doing enterprise development initiatives, and we have, in partnership with one of the companies based at the Jewelry Manufacturing Springs, offered such training, which ended during the Q1. The training has ended, and we're hoping to continue still capacitating small businesses that are in the jewelry manufacturing going forward. That would be the end of the presentation, but one could hasten to say that as you look south from where we at, in Heidelberg itself, which falls under the Val, we are having a project over there, and we are installing bulk in that area. The other projects that we're having in the corridor would include the industrial parks. One is in Tembisa, Umkhansa, the other one, Fanimalepe, in Katoras. And we are engaging with the municipality, the metro actually, to unlock the town planning delays that we are confronting in the area. With that said, Chair, thank you. That is the presentation from the Gauteng Development Agency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next presentation then will be from the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. Also known as the GEP.
So you're saying I must move it only?
Yeah, so I'm not moving the cursor from so rather use.
Okay.
Yeah, because I need it on PDF, so that's not.
Oh, okay.
Are you fine?
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Good morning to the chair of the portfolio committee, the members, the colleagues and the community at large. My name is Nosipho Kongwane. I will be presenting the performance for the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. As we know, the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller is the entity under the Gauteng Department of Economic Development, which is there to support MSMEs within the province, to improve the growth of MSMEs and their competitiveness and sustainability. We do that by providing financial and non-financial support to these SMMEs. The financial support mainly covers the loans, and the non-financial support mainly covers the business development support, which is the pre-investment support, and also the equipment support, and also some, partly the stock support. So the performance that I will be presenting then is coming from us having provided SMMEs with startup finance, franchise finance, contract finance for executing contract, expansion finance, and also acquisition of commercial property in the form of, for instance, there's a students' accommodation is one of the popular opportunity in that area. So what do we support under finance support? We provide you with a loan up to 5 million rand for buying assets, which could be machinery or whatever assets that you need for your business. The working capital, also the bridging finance in case you have a contract and you don't have enough cash flow to execute that particular contract. We also have a youth fund where it's a blended finance facility, which is a 50% grant and 50% loan up to a maximum of a million rand. If you are a business owner under the age of 35, then that is the instrument that you can apply for. So generally under business development support, we can assist you with various business planning, business registration, marketing for support, all the business systems that you want to build and grow your business, including the quality standards, the productivity improvement, interventions if you are a manufacturing businesses that needs to grow. Then coming to the performance for Q1, during this quarter, we have achieved 8 indicators out of the 11 indicators that we're tracking, meaning that our performance achievement was at 73%. We've got 4 programs in which we measure our performance. Under program 1, we have achieved 3 targets and only missed 1 target, which is the percentage of procurement spent on small enterprises owned by youth. And the reason we didn't meet that is because there is a youth-owned businesses in the security industry that took longer to invoice us, but that has since been resolved in this quarter, in Q2. The second program is investment management, which is a program where we measure our performance in terms of loan approvals and also disbursement of those loans. In terms of program 2, we've achieved 1 indicator and we missed the percentage of loans committed, and also we missed the disbursements to youth-owned businesses, and we are since catching up in the Q2 to improve on our performance in terms of our loans committed. The reason why we didn't achieve on the loans is that we've received some deals, but many of those that we assessed did not meet the funding requirements, and therefore then we had a high decline rate in the first quarter. And we've since used other mechanism of targeted sourcing as well in order to improve the quality of the deals that we are getting and meet the target. Under program 2, still the investment management part, the grants committed, we've achieved and exceeded the target. The disbursement on grants, we've achieved and exceeded the target. On informal traders, we've achieved and exceeded the target in terms of that performance. Under the program 3, which is under the business development support interventions, we've achieved and exceeded the target in that area. I will also come to another slide where I will indicate what was the work that benefited the SMMEs in the Ekurhuleni region. Then in terms of the direct support to MSMEs in this region, this Q1, we've supported 36 SMMEs, which is 34 informal traders, and also 2 SMMEs with business development support. The SMMEs that we've supported during Q1 were from Etwata, Gauteng, Gauteng, Olifantsfontein, Rege Park, Tembisa, Phosphorus, and Wattsville. And then, but in the previous year, there were specific SMMEs in Nigel. I think in the coming quarters, there's still gonna be also SMMEs for the Nigel area, but in this Q1, there's Babsfontein as well, and then, yeah, and there's Gauteng for BDS, but there's a lot of SMMEs in the region that has benefited from the informal trader support. In terms of the success stories that we achieved, that just gives the idea of the work that we do as GEP. There is a company that is called Top Reps. This company is in Phosphorus, and the business is producing wraps and wrap sauces and food festival. Because of that expansion, they have increased in terms of their income, and also they have increased their by GEP. They had challenges that were impacting on the growth, and that was one of those challenges. They needed equipment and also the appropriate equipment for their business, and also they didn't have proper financial management systems, and GEP assisted this business through its community fund grant for procuring of equipment. And after that, the business was able to receive a tender from social development to manufacture their school shoes, and the contract was for a period of 24 months, and that enables the business to grow in terms of its revenue, and also now it's able to add, they added additional 5 employees. Thank you, Chair. I will end there.
Thank you very much for the presentation. The next presentation then will be the Gauteng Gambling Board. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you once again to make notes on the questions that you want to ask later or any comments you want to make. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, colleagues and the community at large. My name is Eunice Lottering. I'm representing the Gauteng Gambling Board. The Gauteng Gambling Board is a statutory body established in terms of Section 3 of the Gauteng Gambling Act. We also a public entity established in terms of the Public Finance Management Act, and we report to the legislature through the Economic Development Department. The mandate of the Gauteng Gambling Board is to regulate and control gambling in the province with the view to promote ethical business conduct, promote transformation imperatives. We collect revenue, but most importantly, we must ensure that the public is protected against the social ills of gambling. So during quarter one, we had 9 targets that we were supposed to, we were implementing. Out of the 9 targets, we achieved 7, and we shot fall on 2 targets. So basically, we achieved 78% out of 100. So in terms of the targets that were implemented during quarter one, we have program 1, which is administration. On this one is the supplier payments of the MSMEs, which we have paid all of them within the 15 days time frame that we are supposed to pay them. We've achieved 100%. The second program is on gambling regulation. So the Gauteng Gambling Board processes applications for entities that would like to participate in gambling. So the first one, we are supposed to process these applications within 120 days. So we've achieved the target. All the applications that we received, that were submitted, we managed to process them within 120 days. On the second one, where employees that are, want to work within the gambling industry must apply and be registered to get registration licenses to work in the industry. So those applications, we vet them. We must finish the process within 45 days. So we have achieved 100% on those. The third one is the percentage of gambling equipment application received within 10 days. So each and every licensee gambling outlet, before they can operate, they must apply to the Gauteng Gambling Board so that we can verify all the software and equipments that are being placed at these gambling outlets to ensure that they are certified to do so. So all these applications are also processed within 10 days. We have been able to achieve 96%. The reason it's not 100% is because we also have dependencies. The 10% is on the dependencies on testing labs. There might be a to and fro in terms of the requirements of the softwares. So we leave the 10% to allow that to and fro between the testing labs and our application processes. The next one is the percentage of licensees non-compliance incidents investigated and reported to the CEO within 70 days. This is where when our licensing investigators go out in the field, they find that there are 9 compliances. So those are reported to us so that we can investigate them. So if there has been a non-compliance by a licensee or a gambling outlet, we investigate whether it's illegal gambling that is happening there, or employees are not registered as required. We also investigate that, and within 70 days, we must make sure that the investigation is complete. If it needs to be prosecuted, we hand it over to our committee that must prosecute for the non-compliance. So that also we have investigated all that was within our table within 70 days, which we achieved 100%. The last one under program 2 is the number of gambling disputes resolved against those received. So the disputes means when you as a gambler, as a punter, you have a dispute with one of our licensees, be it Hollywood, Superbets, any of those, you are welcome to come to us. we will investigate the dispute between yourself and the licensee, and that we must do within 70 days. So we have done that, we've received disputes, and we have handled those within 100%. The next one is on program 5, the number of raids that we must conduct to close illegal gambling operations. Our annual target is 500. Quarterly, we must conduct 125. On this one, unfortunately, we did not achieve. We only conducted 48 raids. This is due to human capacity constraints, and, but I'll explain later on a slide where we explain non-achievement. The next one under program 6 is the number of responsible and illegal gambling awareness programs that we must conduct. Annually, we must conduct 40, and during quarter 1, we achieved 10, we achieved 12 against 10, which we have overachieved. This is due to the increased participation on outreach with our sister agencies, as well as the portfolio committee when they go to communities. The next one under program 6 is the number of people that we reach through responsible gambling awareness messages. So we are saying, as much as we do awareness campaigns, we must see the impact of our awareness campaigns. So we aim to reach 2 million people annually. Per quarter, we have set a target of 500,000. So in quarter 1, we could not achieve the 500,000 that we intended to. This was due to financial constraints, but I'll explain in the next slide that talks about the non-achievement. So on the illegal raids, the non-achievement was caused by human capacity constraints, as well as the dependency on law enforcement, because we cannot conduct raids without the SAPS. But our intervention is that we have since increased our law enforcement department with interns that we've received from our sister agency, and we are also collaborating with the Gauteng Liquor Board. So in quarter 2, there will be a huge difference. We've seen it in the month of July. So those are our interventions in this regard. And on the number of people reached through responsible gambling messaging, there was challenges with financials, but we are since, the board will strengthen its stakeholder engagement and awareness approach and explore cost-effective outreach initiatives to improve this. On this one as well, we have explored non-financial interventions to ensure that we reach the 500 that we have aimed to. In terms of the interventions that have been done by the Gauteng Gambling Board in Ekurhuleni, we have supported the construction of the cricket pitch at Nageng Primary School in Vosloorus, as well as a combi court at Windmill Primary School in Boksburg. We've also conducted school outreach campaigns during the Child Protection Week on responsible gambling awareness in Ivory Park. This was focusing on promoting awareness of the risks associated with gambling and the protection of children from gambling-related harm. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you very much. The next entity will be the Gauteng Tourism Agency, GTA. Thank you.
Good morning, members. Senior executives, colleagues, community members. I greet you all in the wonderful name of a Friday. My name is Mbui Kona. I represent Gauteng Tourism Authority. I'm going to take you through the Q1 journey. Gauteng Tourism Authority is an agency that is responsible for tourism development, promotion, and sustainability. And as you will see on the slide, it's divided into primarily the 4 key areas. The first one is the one that deals with strategic support. It's a program that is meant to ensure that at all times we comply with the various regulations. The second one is a program then that focuses then on marketing Gauteng as a whole, together with the various experiences and attractions, ensuring then that the Gauteng destination is visited, and also the visit numbers, they keep on growing. The third area of work is around Gauteng being a maker or a place of events. Events that happen in various forms, the bigger events, smaller events, and medium events. And the importance of that is because we understand that when people come in for meetings or events, they do not only end within the events, they also come in and experience townships and other leisure activities. The last one is a program that facilitates responsible management, which is basically around ensuring that products as a whole, they meet the minimum standards. There is best practice, and also we also focus then on issues of skills development broadly, including your sustainability areas and coordination and support. In the period under review, we are glad to announce then that we met and exceeded some of the set targets. And we acknowledge upfront that we did not do that on our own. We were able to achieve it through various partnerships. And they come in as follows. Within the marketing side of things, within the marketing area of work, in Q1 we had to perform a campaign, the Easter campaign, and we are glad to indicate that we were able then to meet that target. And the focus for it was increased visitation on economic activities and within key areas. And we were, as indicated, we achieved that. On the second one, it's an area that is around the number of SMMEs or small businesses that must be taken for market access. In here, we are also gladly indicating that the number 25 that we were supposed to meet, we also exceeded. We exceeded it through the various platforms. Some were within the province and some outside the province. the World Trade Market Africa. It's an event that was held in Cape Town, and we were able to take SMMEs, some of them from Ekurhuleni to Western Cape. The Rand Show, we also took some of the SMMEs to the Easter Rand Show, primarily from Joburg, but there were also few that came from other districts. The issue was around the cost because it was not a one-day event. We also took to Indaba some SMMEs, and you can see the numbers. We also tried to spread it across all regions, and also Ekurhuleni was taken care of at the Durban Indaba. And we also had the whole Rex Cape Town, and the Decorex Cape Town one, it's where we also took the artists and crafters from the various regions, and Ekurhuleni was also represented in there. And therefore you will see then that the numbers then that we were supposed to meet, we exceeded, and in the achievement of this, we also collaborated with the National Department of Transport, National Department of Tourism. On the number of safety initiatives, this one we also met and exceeded it. It was not because of our abilities only, but it's because of the partnership that we have struck with the Office of the Premier and the Department of Community Safety in particular. And most of them, you can see that we achieved them. And the four events and instances on the Balcony Mix Africa, on the Gauteng Investment Conference, on the FIFA Fan Park Mall of Africa, and Pasha Uhuru. These are some of the initiatives whereby we ensured then that on the beneficiation, it must cut across, and we also be able then to meet our targets head on. I'm not going to look then onto this one on the financial information, but surely I've observed that the members saw it and they saw the state that we find ourselves in. And also, this one, it also talks then about the expenditure so far. And I would also like members to also indicate, then especially on this slide, on the broader impact and the economy that tourism is bringing to Gauteng. You'll notice then that on this slide then, on the area then of Gauteng being the best place to be visited or being a destination of choice, on the first one we had a planned target of 85% amongst the various stakeholders. We could not achieve 85, but however we achieved 72%. And basically, it's attributed to a number of things that some of them are beyond us as an entity. It's around whatever that is happening within the province and also the resource element. The number of international arrivals that were also targeted, we targeted annually about 2.6 million on arrivals, and we exceeded all of those, and that's a big plus for us. And amongst others, the campaigns and the various meetings and attraction experiences are contributing into some of these achievements. And you'll notice then that this is a big plus for us, because as they continue to come in, they also have got a direct correlation with the spend that they do. On the second one, then, it's also then around the spend as indicated. We had aimed 30 billion. We were also able then to achieve 47 billion in the last financial year. And the 17 billion is the net profit that was made at a larger scale. And lastly then is the number of domestic trips also, we're also able then that to increase them, and they increased by 4 million, 4.6 million. I've also touched on in our performance slides, I indicated some of the areas. Just to summarize this slide, it's exactly what I indicated earlier on, that we are making some huge inroads, Chair, on market access platforms. And they are also yielding some of the positive results. And these two slides, they exactly talk to that. And however, we are also in partnership then with the Department of National Tourism. We are also engaged into a program for job creation and yes, for youth, whereby we are working closely with Harambe and the various kids and youth coming from across communities are going to be deployed in the various host employers. Thank you.
Right, thank you for the presentation. And the last agency that will present is the Tshwane Automotive Special Economic Zone. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just quiet down? We're almost done. Thank you.
Dumelang Sanbonani, Abusheni, Chair and the committee and the community at large. I'm Kutso. I will be representing the Tshwane Automotive Special Economic Zone, which is an SEZ situated in Silverton within the Tshwane area. We are an SEZ of a special kind, fully owned by the three spheres of government, being the national government, the province of Gauteng, and the city of Tshwane. I'm going to be taking the community through our own performance from Q1 of the 2026-2027 financial year. In terms of our targets, we have 6 targets, and of the 6, we have achieved 5. And I'm going to deep dive into those. One of our targets, Chair, is that we have a target of paying SMMEs or MSMEs within 14 days. We were able to pay within 7 days, which is a success. We also had a target of mentoring small enterprises. Of the target of 10, we were able to achieve 17. We have also a target to train individuals, and we have trained 413 out of a target of 400. The other target was to mentor SMMEs within the construction value chain. We had targeted 10 in the first quarter, we achieved the 10. And we also had a target of employing 100 people in the first quarter within the construction environment. And unfortunately, due to approvals from the city of Tshwane, with regards to our construction program, we could only employ 52 out of a target of 100 people. And then our last target is for us to achieve a commitment in terms of investment of about 200 million We have far exceeded the target and we have achieved about 450 million in terms of attracting investment. This is the targets that we had for Q1 and the 5 achieved except for the one on the construction jobs. And what we also have, Chair, we have established a social compact which is signed with the local communities. Mainly the social compact, it's an agreement between TASES and the leaders from the area that's around the SEZ, which as explained is in the Tshwane area. And out of the social compact, we have formed a committee that looks and ensures that we are able to deliver on our mandate of economic development with regards to job creation, with regards to MSME empowerment, with regards to skills development in the area, and lastly, with regards to the social investment within the area. Chair, I'm going to pause there and end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was the last presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will give you an opportunity to ask questions. Can I just see, by show of hands, how many of you want to ask a question? A few over there and a few over there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, can I ask you, just to make sure that we don't miss you, can you perhaps come stand in a row on my right-hand side, your left-hand side, please? And then there will be a person with a microphone, and we'll each give you an opportunity. So just please come stand here in a row on this side.
Mami, kelakam. Oh, yeah, that's one. Okay. Hello. Shabang Rona. Mama ka jacket blue ki number 1. Everybody else must entitled allow us to drive that machine. Mama ki number 1, then every other person that follows her must be behind her. Yes, that way. No, she's okay. All right. Yeah. So among hands the mo queue. Liska fotlelana ke. Oh, where's the camera? Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's okay. Which way? So Abutika jacket, you are the last one. Ne? Nobody must come after you. Ah, you are born. Okay, you are the last one. Emang so, born.
Yes, she also put up her hand, yes.
Okay, that's fine. The lady in the red is the last person. Kamo. Reqeta kamo, ha reqeta kamo retla kamo. Are being patient anyane. We are going to confuse the system. Let's finish the site, then once they are done, then we go that side. So the lady with the red, Zianda, the lady with the red, you are the last this side. Then after the side, we come that side. Okay, thank you.
Good day. Yes, okay. Good day. I'm Selina Hlope from Tsakane. My sector is under sewing. So, the question is under GEP. I wanted to know, Uguti, I've seen there on the slides that under Tsakane, there's nobody that has benefited last quarter. Are we still having an opportunity that we can still apply for the equipments, ne? Whether it's cooperative or the SMEs? Thank you.
Okay. My name is Ched Zwane from Duduza. I've got 3 questions, one from Sisno Sipo Then the other two, two gentlemen before Sis Nosipo, I didn't catch their names. Sis Nosipo, you spoke about loans and fundings. Ne? So usually you guys look at the projections or the financials for about 6 months going forward, right? So now let's say I don't have the proper financials, but I have an appointment letter. Maybe for 3 years or 5 years, will you give me the funding or a loan without projections or financials? Then there was a gentleman who spoke about 5 companies. My question is based on the one that Gauteng Industrial Development. He said the company is still under designs. So I wanted to know when they start infrastructure or construction, are we welcome to apply? Or is it based for people who stay in Springs, or anyone is welcome to apply? And then there was a guy who spoke about Kondisa Ishishin Lago. How do we get in touch with it and what kind of compliance? Because he didn't touch base on the compliance. That's all.
Good day, everyone. I'm Clinton Thompson. I'm from Alro Park, Nigel. I noticed, firstly, I want to say thank you for your presentation and for information that was shared. Unfortunately, I got a little small gripe that it was basically about your progress that you'll have achieved already, and nothing presented about what is open and what is available going forward for those that aren't in the system yet. But another concern I've got is in the GDED presentation, you made reference of a company called Sharia Steel that is also in your program and received, I think, almost 20 million rand in, from your program. My concern is in 2022, we approached that same company because they trade under the name Force Steel. You can check on Google. Sharia Steel trades under the name Force Steel. They're in Pretoria Stad, in Nigel. Unfortunately, in 2022, we approached them about employing local people from our ward. We fall under Ward 88. And unfortunately, what we noticed there that 90% or more than 90% of the employees there are foreign nationals. They're from India or Pakistan. So I don't know if anything has changed since then, because I noticed this was for the 24-25 year, that maybe now they've employed locals, because I don't think, because when we approached them, they quickly took us, they applied for a High Court interdict for us to stop engaging with them concerning employing local people. Understand? So it's a concern that they are benefiting from a program from government, and yet they're employing 90% foreign nationals. That's a big concern to me. Then it doesn't benefit Nigel. It doesn't benefit the members of Ward 88. And that's a major concern. I think when you're going to take on beneficiaries in the different areas, don't only speak to ward councillors. Have an issue like, have something like this where you'll engage the people of the area, the unemployed in the area, the SMMEs in the area, because then you'll get a better idea of what is going on in the ward where you're going to invest. Because Force Steel, Sharia Steel operates as Force Steel. You can check it on Google. You'll see it. And Force Steel is employing foreign nationals who are living in the Pretoria Stad area. And they don't want to engage with locals. They rather take you to High Court when you start questioning them, knowing we haven't got funds to oppose them in High Court. We are unemployed people looking for work. We are SMMEs that haven't got opportunities yet. We are still got no money. So we cannot contest the High Court applications. It's a worry. And I see with the GEP presentation, it's a nice presentation, it's nice focus on empowering youth and things like that. But please, when you do the presentation and you speak about in the previous year, there were SMMEs from Nigel, I think. No. You're presenting facts here, please. Let's show, like you're showing stats and that we can put our hands on and can put our eyes on and can see. Don't say I think, please. That doesn't speak to us. Please, let's be clear in how we present things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we continue, I just want to welcome MEC Ramagopa, who's arrived, and our HOD of the department as well. You're more than welcome. Thank you. You may continue.
Okay. Chair, before he continues, can we manage the clapping of hands? Because we are not clapping for everybody. Ne? No. That's not how we run our meetings. If you acknowledge, we acknowledge for everyone. That's how we run our meetings. That's how we keep order in our meetings. So when you clap for me and you don't clap for the chair, does it mean you don't like the chair? No, ne? So otherwise we don't clap, we allow all of them to speak, then at the end, we clap for everybody. I get bana beso. I get really rata kaofela. And re ba rata kaofela. Le ba re dumellanang le bona. So let's be in order. We're doing things how we run our meetings. We respect and love everybody. Again, thank you very much. You can proceed in that.
Sanibonani. Okhulumayo uSiphamandla kwaMagodulela from Ward 63 Katlehong. Anginawo ama questioning nama inputs ikakhulu. Ama department wonke ayasifela. Ama department information awayifikisi kithi phansi. Esicelayo department yonke, I'm not mhlawumbe against le esikuyo nje namhlanje. Sicela information. Abantu baleka information. Sicela nisiphe information. Then two, kunalento esinayo ku constitution, kukhulunywa nge 35 years. Sibuza ukuthi umuntu ona 45 akalambile yini yena. So siyacela ukuthi mhlawumbe kumthetho sisekelo wethu kuyishintshe lento ukuthi ekutheni kukhulunywa nge 35 years. Sonke silambile. So ngizocela lapho kusisi ngizocela ukuthi mhlawumbe
township economy and SMMEs. We wanted to get a sense of how many township enterprises that are funded and are still operational after the 12 months. Question number 4, on the special economic zones and industrialization, I just wanted to check what is the return on investment on OR Tambo specifically. I want to zoom into the OR Tambo SEZ in terms of provincial revenue, export value, and local SMMEs inclusion. And the last one, which I want to raise, is the issue of unemployment and the rail test. Then Gauteng has almost about 6 million unemployed with 250 jobs that are created in 2025. I wanted to check what is the current expanded unemployment rate for youth under the age of 35. Those are the questions. I might have a couple more, but I can send it to the committee. Thank you very much.
Molweni. Igama nguSimpiwe. Ngicela ukubuza nje first question to the gentleman who came before usisi we-GP. Mhlekazi. My first question is uthethe nge-incubations usenze presentation yakho report yakho. Ngicela ukubuza nje where are the incubation centers esinazo eKoruleni? Located P, where are they located and how many are they in all of Ekurhuleni? That is a question I'm directed to you. Ndibuza kusisi from EGP, can we just get all the requirements from EGP that are needed in order for us to get a funding? Because in the verse somewhere somehow that there is something all cooperatives that are under 1 year are funded like all cooperatives are being funded after a year. Mandisho mhlambe question ngathi iyavela kanjalo apho bendiva khona. Is it true or not that if you are under 1 year and ukwazi uba funded, or if ever you are funded, you are limited somewhere somehow? The question yami directed kuwe and phinde ndibuza to i-legislature yethu or should ndithi mhlawumbe stakeholders zonke. Why sinama red tapes angaka whenever should we sifuna u-accessa whenever sithetha ngendaba ye-land, in fact, especially thina siku-agriculture singama cooperatives, whenever sithetha ngendaba ye-land it becomes so difficult and yazi sithunyelwa left and right and center sibuya with nothing. Kune-zoning ekuba nzima uyifumana. Yes, now we do get access at least uyifumana. Kune-water authentication letter, that water licensing. It's so difficult to get that one because bathi abakwazi even ukukunika access. Uya kwamasipala uthunyelwe ngapha nangapha. That one is so difficult and yazi sicela nje mhlawumbe umuntu ongasinika clarity on that ukuthi why is it so difficult? Why are there so many red tapes masithetha ngendaba ye-land? Because we need that. Noba sekuthiwa unikwa nje just a certain space nje, even mhlambe half a hectare. If unelakhi nakhona half a hectare, ube uyazi ukuthi okay so ufuna uba wena uproduce so that ukwazi upenetrate market. Awukwazi because you produce so little. And then lastly, dibuze malunga ne patenting, patent licensing. In order mhlambe ufuna uprotect your copyright trademarks. Naleyo singenza njani? Because me and my colleagues, we've once invented something engeke ndiyimention right now. Saza create an app yayo. That is sizama ukungena kwicala technology, technical advances now. Sithi sifuna uyi-protector this thing before sipursue sipushela phambili. Sicela uyi-protector. Sahamba sayozama ukwenza a patent licensing. Sina namhlanje andikayazi office yakhona benithi singena siqonqoza kule basithumele kule uthi ungena uphongo awumazi nomuntu efuna ukuthethe naye. Why is it so difficult ukuthi ukwazi uprotect something ufuna copyright trademark? And ndiye ndabona uba kuye kwa prioritizwa pha a different skin color. Ingabe sisephansi kwencindezelo eMzantsi na? That is my question. Ndiyabulela.
Sanbonani. My name is Solofelo Nakedi. I won't talk much ukuthi ngiphatha ini or ngihleli kuphi kanjani, but I'm quite disturbed, Chair, that we find ourselves sitting here and we are calling ourselves, we are in the place of Greater Nigel, but none of these programs that are being initiated are serving the purpose of Greater Nigel. As much as we have the Gauteng legislature, it is built by Gauteng, legislature, it is built by Eguruleni, and the key founders of them are in KwaZaDuza, which is Duduza, Tsakani, Gauteng. So now we are having departments. I wouldn't want to separate them that much, which is our GEP, it's your tourism. Can I start with the tourism one? With the development that you guys are coming with, how is it pouring to us? Because now one understands even the finances that you guys raise, it's through us, Abantebe Arts. And even most in the sector of tourism, you can make your own research. Eguruleni is the contributing factor. But we do not even have a place where we'd say this is a home of arts or this is a home of the tourism sector. Njoba sila namhlanje, we are having so many entities that are saying are pouring to us locally. No matter some of them can operate nationally, but before you can even be there at the national seats, these departments tend to forget us in the local seats. As much as they said, try to engage with us, maybe some of the SMMEs that are within Emalokshini, because the departments are clearly failing us. Even the councillors themselves are failing us. We are seated here, most people here, I'm sure they even have database of what needs to happen within our locations. Now, what I want to ask exactly, kahle kahle ukuthi, what is it that the legislature is planning to do so that we can have less divided departments? Because we are having so much problems within all these sectors. I wouldn't say arts and culture, I wouldn't say sports, no, I wouldn't say the infrastructure. Because we are talking about growth development. As much as we are talking about growth development, there are certain factors. None of them were touching them. Because we are making all these buildings, and most of the buildings that we are busy building and the resources that we are doing, we are using, it's from our environment. But nobody's touching that towards how do we benefit the ecosystem that it doesn't get affected? Which programs are we coming? Because are we coming with in order to develop our locations, no sectors that we are in terms of infrastructure that we are building? How does it contribute to nature itself and us without losing self? Because we are seated here, we are so focused in these establishments. I'll mention one. We have the gambling board, but none of the stats that were made by the gambling board has been said how much is being affecting our communities on a daily basis. Because I know plenty of people who are getting 350s now. Whenever they get that, people are buying vouchers. Is the board and the government so happy that we're having so many people participating in something that is destroying us? And here we are seated, we're saying we want to grow our economy. And I would love to ask also EGP, because you know I'm one of the people who register a company wabantu, and we have registered so many people within KwaZaDuza, but we have never even seen your visibility in the Far East Rand. We see you in Katoras, we see you in Tembisa, we always see you in Alex. So now with all these initiatives that are being placed, are they only based for the people within the West Rand? And why are we here having the dialogue with so much stats that is only impactful to people that are not here? Ngizothanda ukushiya lapho nje. Thank you.
The chair and the HOD and everybody else that has taken the time to come out to our community today. We appreciate you for coming to our doorstep. We really appreciate it. And then compliments to all of you who have achieved your targets. And we pray that you also reach your other targets for the benefit of our people. My question is, my statement is around saving the future leaders. To the gambling board, we don't see what programs do you have, or rather can you show us programs that is available today for the illegal gambling that our children are taking part in. From the ages of 7 years to 18 years and above, I have seen in our communities how our young future leaders is spending their time on illegal gambling. What programs exist now that we can take our kids through to preserve their talent and also to groom them into the future leaders that we want coming from our communities? The second last one is about the tourism agency. We'd also like to see what programs do you have available for our youth currently in our schools taking tourism as a subject. What programs is there that can help develop their talent and also their love for tourism, and also what they're creating and designing now in schools that can go to the market so that we can groom them into becoming employed, self-employed after matric. And then the last point is for the Tshwane Automotive Special Economic Zone. You mentioned your targets that you have achieved and that you are based in Tshwane and you're doing very well there. But how does that benefit our local communities that the previous speaker said? You're speaking about people that has achieved and developed, but those people are not here. What benefits is there for us, or what opportunities still exist for us to partake in the Tshwane Automotive Special Economic Zone? I thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we take the microphone to the other side? I think there was a lady there who wanted to ask a question, and that will be the last person, and then we will ask the department to respond.
Sanibonani.
Imaqala Sithando, Imaqala Sithandwa sami. Can we see the hands, all of them this side? Let's do likewise. Let's do likewise. Asizeni la. Itlankamo bana bakho high. So that, okay, that's fine. So you will be number 2, then the rest who's standing here will follow you. Mama ki number 1, utshwere mic already. Okay, ribatla ubona. So you will be number 3, number 4 behind you. 4, 5. Then reqetile akere. Ha re bile inspiration. Number 2, Papa. So number 1 ki mama, number 2 ki Papa ki mole, then number 3, 4, 5, abuti number 6. Then we are done. Ne? I really the brainwave. Ne? As much as possible, let us avoid repeating the questions that were asked. As much as possible. Ne? Rautwana kere ba gaetso. Okay, thank you very much. Mama, you can start.
Sanibonani bazalwane. NguJeanette Simpe mina ngihlala eThembisa. Bengicela ukuthi ugovernment wethu akazame ukuthi anakelele abantu abakhubazekile. Abantu abakhubazekile ngathi izikhalo zabo azizwakali. Kufana nami nje ngiyatshala lapha eJardini. Ngikhubazekile kodwa ngiyatshala kodwa mangathi ngifuna umhlaba never nguthola umhlaba. Into engimangaza lo mhlaba kaNkuluNkulu lo. uNkulunkulu wadala izulu nomhlaba la. Ukuthi sonke sitshale siyazi ukuthi sichitha indlala sichitha indlala. Mina ngiyazama ukuthi ngichitha indlala. Bazalwane sengingena kuntshumayelo manje. Bazalwane kahle kahle lo mhlaba kaNkuluNkulu. Asimelanga sithembele ebantwini. Mele sicela uNkulunkulu asisize. Asinike umhlaba owakhe lo mhlaba asiwo umuntu lo mhlaba. Asimelanga siloko siyale nale simukusale nale masifuna izinto zethu. Sinike uNkulunkulu vulelana nabantwana bakaNkulunkulu bathola into zabo. Asinto zabantu lezi zinto. Izinto zikaNkulunkulu. Mina angibeki ithemba lami emntwini umuntu neva ngisize ngalutho. Kunini ngitshala ngifuna indawo ngayitholi. Kodwa abavuya ngaphandle bayenza idakamizwa la emaplazini. Emazweni wethu baphuma ngaphandle bayawuthola umhlaba. Kodwa wena mawungezibeka kuleyo umhlaba loya, hawu bakakusheshisela amaphoyisa. Bangakusheshisela amaphoyisa. Iqiniso bangimeqiniso mangakube amanga government wethu man. Sikhathele yini thina? Sikhathele ke simuku.
Number 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. Ukuthi nami ngithole ithuba ngithi ukuphefumula. But maybe as a starting point, I want to indicate, man, that I think the other speaker has partially addressed the issue of access to information. Because we note that particularly your departments, it's very difficult. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Bongane Tswari from Tembisa, Ward 5, a member of the Ward Committee heading Economic Development and City Planning. And as I was saying, we're having challenge to access information, particularly a Department of Economic Development and City Planning. Solely because I think each department, it's important. I think it is a catalyst in terms of ensuring that we grow a township economy. So without having an access to the department, it's very difficult. So what I want to say, bengacela ukuthi sibe nabantu who are dedicated in the department that can able to basebenze in our communities. One, I wanted to propose that each and every township or a sub-district must have an information hub where we can able to go in that area, where we can able to access any information regarding development. Because currently, even ourselves, while we're leading the very same sector, it is very difficult to access the department that we're serving in. So I think it's important that we must have our information hub centers in every township in Egoruleni. And I want to just conclude, because I don't want to be long, just to allow others. I'm raising this issue of information hubs in every township solely because we've been struggling to implement programs on the ground. We're sitting here, I'm having a program on the township economy to ensure that the economy belongs to the people within our areas. You will note that our people currently are having difficulties to run tax shops due to other red tape issues for such as zoning, business and zoning, and so forth. And I'm happy one presenter spoke about Kundisa Ishishini Lami. But how do we, beyond this session, how are we going to access that information? Hence I'm saying the department must make sure it's able to create an environment where we're able to access. So where I'm sitting in my parting shot, I'm having a beautiful program I can share with the department after this session. And I'm confident that in the next 3 months, if we can implement this program, it can able to have unemployment in Tembisa in the next 3 months. So what we need is access to yourself so that we are able to outline or indicate what our programs are so that you're able to get a gist or a sense of what is it that want to try to do. And I think maybe if you can also make an appointment, or if maybe the Director General as well, if he or she is available, I will glad to meet with the TG so that I'll able to outline this program. And I think it's a working program, it's not something that I can say it's a wishy-wishy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you want to contact the portfolio committee, give that gentleman next to you your contact details. Doug, I'll offer you contact details, then he will give to his colleagues. That is for the portfolio committee. Bechaga Mike. Skymaga Mike mo dog. Fitisa Mike. Lutswer.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Next,
Yeah,
please.
Derek. Okay, ke Lesego Masisi from Olifantsfontein. Ke tlile mo ke tlo bona gore the communities in across the province gore what's going on, and also the work the provincial legislature is trying to improve on. So can I read the dipotso? I think they three. But the dipotso tse di tlotla, they're quite loaded. Di tlotla le some form of explanations or analysis. So the first one is to the head of strategy in the GDED, and Hannah Ayeta, his outline, his presentation. I looked at this thing as spatial planning. I don't think that spatial planning programs have been really prioritized or transformed, rather. I think we're just using spatial planning as a tool to develop, but without really redressing the injustices of the past. So what's going to happen? Yes, we might drive growth. Yes, there will be more infrastructure development, but the structural and systematic problems relating to how society was organized before, especially in townships, already established environments, you're not going to see as much impact. In fact, there's going to be a lot of inefficiencies going into the long term. So also, what is the level of integration with regards to these special planning programs in terms of within the existing focal framework, especially outside of SEZs? Let's not like look at SEZs because that's something already progressive. Let's look at other aspects, like for example, the whole gambling thing. In addition to this question, decision support tools. What are your decision support tools? What are the department's decision support tools that they could even make readily available to the public to assess how communities, in terms of maps and stuff, interactive maps,
And it's very much pleasant because you say that now we are developing, you are in a structural position. So that simply means in the near future, we will be having jobs that will be offered to the community. So can I have the information, where are you accessible, so that now we can have a clearer information, so that we can tell our people that there will be jobs that are going to be created in that field because of we are near Impala Platinum. Thank you very much.
Chairperson, committee portfolio, officials, and stakeholders, greetings. My name is Tebo Khomauko. I'm from Tutuza. My question is directed to Gauteng Liquor Board. But before I ask, I want to briefly motivate my question by saying TFG Foshini is considering to close all their physical stores and keep the online stores. So I assume the reason is because online stores make more sales than physical, and they save costs by not paying rent and everything. So my question is the legislature considering to amend the Liquor Act by including the direct or the clear license for online liquor stores? Thank you.
Good day, good day. Anginiboni kuhle. How are you? Ngiyalochisa.
We see you, you can proceed. Arimufe chance kwa ugcina.
Okay. Ngiyalochisa nonke management nonke niphelele. Ngiyanthanda kakhulu. Thanda kakhulu. Kodwa khona into engingayithandi ukuba unfair. Ngizakulo beyakhuluma ngabantwana besikolo student ukuthi niyabafanda kuhle ngiya-appreciate, but mabacede isikolo bobereka kuphi ngoba ababereki. Khona imali yokuthi bathole amathuba omsebenzi nithi ikhona, but asibaboni babereka bayaxhaka. Nikhona sihawukeleni abantwana sibafundisile. Number 2, last week angikhohliwe man, mina ngudumsana waseThema ne, and then ngikhohle ukuzi-introduce because ngisukumiswa ukuthukuthela bakithi ngabantwana ku-Ward 74. And then last week eThema abantwana bebegijimisana ngemimese bafuna ubulalana. Yi-student lezo. Khona ni right niyafika banike le stock suite bamunye right masiphela sala igodo lodwa bobereka ababereki. Number 2, emaphoyiseni sinenkinga ngongenza umsebenzi wawo amaphoyisa. Abababophi labantwana abagijimisanayo abagwazelana for ama-drugs. Anithinti into ama-drugs into ebuhlungu ngoba niyazi ukuthi abanye abakulama department wenu bathengisa ama-drugs. Niyakwazi lokho. Nayifihla leyo nayibalekela. Lokhu banika abantwana i-dog sweet masiphela ke balisa banjalo. Number 2 kokugcina lapha eThema siyahlupheka kulokhu elikhulu elingana stadium na stadium Thema. Yenzani ama-means ukuthi lela lokishi elikhulu liphakame libe ne-stadium. Ngalokhu nibavumela laba abafihla amanansi ama-case walela yaseThema. Ayivele into yaseThema kwakhiwa i-stadium lapha. Abantwana fanele zize ezinye izikole zogijima lapha eThema. Zogijima phi kungena shelter e-stadium saseThema. Ake nisizweleni. Ilokhu elikhulu la phethe abantu abakhulu. Ngaba namahloni ngcotshwe esinye isikhulu saseThem. Ngotsho lesi stadium esiso esiphathisana amahloni. Yenzani imizamo ukuthi stadium sasisithema sibe right. Ku Ward 74 khona enye section bathi sekuthuleni. Yaphuma imali yokwakha izindlu zalapha ya 20 years back. Iyadliwa abakhelwa lapha ya dlalwa ngabo. Akeni ubugebengu khuzani lama colleagues wenu ayobugebengu wakhuzeni. Okumnandi nangichaza makuzoba amavote nijama nenze so nenza so ngoba amavote andlula amavote hele.
Thank you. Can we have that roving mic? Thank you very much. Nedere before if I MEC Sibaka, le department, le entities, re hlalo say one or two things. Excuse me? No, that's not true. That's not true. Firstly, South Africa has 11 official languages. 11, don't do that with me. That you are not going to do with me. That you are not going to do with me. South Africa has 11 official languages. And in our engagement with society, we will use the 11 official languages. That is what we are going to do. You are very disrespectful. You are very disrespectful. Very, very disrespectful. And we are not going to acknowledge one language over the other. It's not going to happen, colleagues and the community. English is part of the 11 languages. We will use it and infuse it with the other languages. And that's a fact. We are not going to negotiate it. Re tlo bua Sesotho. Sizokhuluma isiZulu. Where we can prat Afrikaans on South Africans prat. Where we can speak English, we will speak English. I don't know the other languages. Venda, Tsonga, if I knew, we would infuse. And we are not going to be intimidated into one language. It won't happen, colleagues. And we are not going to tolerate disrespect also. The chair, when we started the meeting, gave you a declaration that this is the precinct of the legislature. In the legislature, we don't allow such misbehavior. You sit, if you want to speak, you raise your hand. That is what happens. So that is misbehavior. We are noting it and we are not allowing it. Back to where I was when I started. We are the Portfolio Committee of Economic Development. The Portfolio Committee, Economic Development. The Premier has announced that he's going to have 10 MECs who are responsible for 10 departments. Babitwa Executive Authority. So, our job is what you just did. Rona le lona, merakwarana ko tshwara Executive Authority accountable. That is our job. We are members of the provincial legislature. We have what we call an operating model. The operating model is every quarter, we must take relevant departments to the public for the department to report on their work. quarterly. That is what we're doing here today. Release the first quarter of the department to you. We've had our engagement in Libona. They came, the same presentations. We asked some of the questions that you have asked. They will respond to the portfolio committee. After this engagement, we are going to take your comments, infuse them into our report that we are going to take to the legislature as the committee's quarterly report. What are they reporting on? They are reporting on their annual set targets. They sit before the financial year ends to plan for the new financial year. In the new financial year or in their plan, but okay, go gambling board, this is what we want to do this year, but we high 4, which is a quarter. Selemos na di quarter say 4. So quarterly, they will say, okay, we want to do 10 things for 3 months. Quarter ke 3 months. We want to do 10 things for 3 months. Then we call them, we bring them here. And we go throughout the province. Ne? So Remo Ekuruleni today. Next quarter, we might go to Soweto. We might go to Sidibeng. Because the legislature is representative of all Gauteng residents. So we have 5 regions in the province. Joburg, Ekuruleni, Sidibeng, West Rand, and what? Tshwane. I was forgetting Tshwane. So we have to cover all these regions. And when we go to Tshwane, we say to the department, okay, you said we're going to do 10 things. Tell us what you did. That is why Liboni ba reportile ka di targets again. Babang ba bilele 20, they've done only 18, abaetsa 2, so they did not reach their targets. Over and above that, tell us what did you do in Ekuruleni? What did you do in Tshwane? We are responsible for Ekuruleni. We are not responsible for Twatwa. We are not responsible for Tsakani. We are not responsible for Binoni, Nigel. We are interested in the work that they did in the region. That is why you saw their presentations was saying Ekuruleni. Then, if they've done something in Nigel, it will fall under Ekuruleni. The reality of the matter is they have a budget. And in their budget, as much as we would want them to do, they cannot accommodate all wards in a municipality. That is the reality, bana ba ko gae. Because we can sit here and say, nna ke tswa ko KwaThema, ba ira next ko KwaThema. Nna ke tswa ko Binoni, a ba ira next ko Binoni. But they would have done something ko Twatwa. They would have done something ko Gong, but in the region. So that is why we bring them to you. Abutu, you had beautiful strategic ideas. Unfortunately, this meeting can't say their strategy is wrong, because that is not what we brought them here to do. We brought them here to say, on the budget that the MEC gave you, of what is the budget, MEC? 1.7 overall. Their budget for Silimo, 1.7. They've broken it down, Kaidi quarter. Already the budget is approved. They brought their business plan, just to make it easier for our understanding, to the committee and the legislature for the year, broken into quarters. It's approved already. So what they're doing now is to say, of that 1.7, we have broken down for this quarter. This is the amount that we wanted to spend. Yes, we spent. Yes, we did not spend. And if you saw in the presentation, not only part of the mitigating. What is it? Mitigating what? The reasons why they didn't spend. So, Rona legislature, we are not going to take responsibility for 99.9% of the questions that you've asked. They must respond. The MEC is here. This is the beautiful lady. That is our MEC for economic development. And also, Onali Bhat, because she's also the MEC for agriculture, ne? GDED. We are not responsible for GDED. GDED has its own portfolio committee, its own members. Ne? So now we are responsible for the Department of Economic Development, DGD, DEP, those ones we capturing you to hold them accountable. Rinalelo, now we're working the same. So, but MEC, because GDED koyena, kitomo kopa how do we access agricultural support? Where do we need to go? I know they're doing a beautiful program. They're doing it's beautiful. People are being assisted to get cows, farms, and support for who decide to come. So it is that one I know about. Any other thing that you ask, I don't know. And I know because in my next life, after being a politician, let me see, I want to be a farmer for cows. You know, didn't the committee did it kind? I didn't know they shine. So Bambang MEC ali. So just quickly, MEC, to say, how do we access land? Where should people go? Because this is not the mandate of this meeting. Ne? Maybe to say, on the disability things, Chair, the portfolio committee has raised sharply, the lack of support for the disabled community. We have raised it on your behalf, and you are not aware. But I'm saying to you, we raised it. And we've asked the department to improve on that target. We've asked the department also to improve on the target for support for youth and women. But when the Mbogoto is supposed to be supported, so we're raising sharply that target. And we are saying to the department, we don't want support here, youth and women, even the workshop of fella. We don't want that. Yes, bring us to the workshop to give us information, but assist us to build our SMMEs and our small businesses. So that is what we are saying, in making sure that this transformation that Abutu was speaking about happens. So we thought, let's explain the difference and the different roles that we have. Our job is to do what we're doing, ask the questions, but the legislature implores us that communities must also engage with the departments, all 10, not just economic development. Ask them questions. Of course, we must say, this is what we're doing. And the reality of the matter is, we are not going to be able to do for all wards at the same time. I can look on the budget. At a point, you need to choose what is it that you're buying, what is it that you are not buying. So departments of government work the same way. Work the same way. Renality needs renality talk. But the reality is, with the allocated budget, not every need is going to be satisfied. But whatever is satisfied, we must tick it so that we add the one that has not been satisfied. So we are your representatives. We represent you. We don't represent the department. I guess when you voted for parties. We come from all the parties that you know existing. We are politicians. We represent parties. But we are in economic development. Our voice, our unity is on making sure that the communities are economically empowered. That is what is our duty and our tasks. So let me clarify, because we heard, or some of you were actually blaming us for GEP and GDED not furthering their targets. And we're like, okay, we forgot to mention it in the morning. But we have a responsibility of bringing the department to you. It's part of our scorecard. Re na le scorecard le rona sa community, sa committee. Saying bring the departments to account to the communities. So we do take note of some of the issues that you've raised. There's proper suggestions that you've made that will make the work of the committee itself to be better in representing you. So those ones we are taking, and hopefully that in the next round, some other committee will come, but it will be empowered. Rona re tlile, mo a re sa boya mo Mackenzie. Next meeting is in another region, because we have to touch base with all Gauteng regions. I can remember the legislator ya Gauteng, not member the legislator ya ko Ekurhuleni. So we must be representative in the work that we do. So we thought we should clarify that so that there is clarity when we leave here. So Chair, can I take it back to you, then the MEC and the team can take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member Mfikwe, for explaining our function and where we fit in and where the department fits in. I'm going to hand back to the department to answer the questions, and then I'm also going to give the MEC an opportunity to speak as well after that. Thank you very much. The department can go ahead.
You can use the mic there.
No, thank you so much for the questions. Maybe, so of course, we have received several questions. I say to an MEC, maybe let me greet them and acknowledge their presence as well. But I think this is the approach that we are going to take, because there are several questions, and we've already indicated that we came here as a department. Within the department, we also have business units, but we also have entities as well. So there are several questions. But as a person who's responsible for strategy, let me just deal with some of the questions. Can I have water? Now, I just want to start by saying and acknowledging and thanking the community on the inputs, the questions that you have raised. So when we develop a strategy for the department, we're developing the APPs. These are inputs that are important. We take these, for example, as I was writing together with my colleagues, these are inputs that assist us as a department in refining our programs as well as our projects. Now, we are currently going to a mid-year strategic planning session. Some of these inputs are so important, and we're going to make sure that we infuse them in our APP for 26-27. We are busy with the adjustment period for 26-27 has started. So these inputs are going to be considered during our strategic planning session. So I thought, let me just start by mentioning that. Then number two, I want to mention this, and this is very critical, and also working with legislature. We had developed a catalog of services, of products of the department. It is for now available online, but normally we also print it and bring it together to the communities. Access to information, we've realized that it's one of the most important elements that we need to do as a department. Most of the time we realize that even some of the questions, we're just realizing that if people can get more information on how to go about, for example, applying for a loan at GEP, how to go about applying for a liquor license, it can really manage and deal with a lot of frustration that we see in our communities. So I want to indicate this. I do have a catalog of services of all the departments, including the contact information, that we are busy developing it into a booklet, and we're going to make sure that each and every social media space of the department, we also share that because access to information is something that we value and something that I think is going to be very important that we distribute as a department. But I just want to indicate that I've shared it at some point with legislature, but also on my possession, I do have that soft copy. So I'll be happy to share with the community. But as I've said, it contains all the projects and programs of the department, so as well as the contact information. If maybe you want to ask for clarity, you'd be able to access that. So then a third point that I wanted to touch is the issue of Qondisishishini Lakho. I have my colleague here, Millie, she's from Consumer Affairs. So that program, and I think Honorable Member Mfikwe has also touched on this, we always try to target the entire region, the entire province. So I know that they will have a program in Sidibeng, they will also go to West Rand, they will also go to Tshwane, etc., to try and make sure that we cover the entire province. So they have several sub-programs. So one of them is Qondisishishini Lakho. So what is this program about? This program is saying, Sifiso has a business. The business is, for example, not registered. And I want to do business with government. I want to grow my business. But we know that to grow your business must be formalized in South Africa. Most of the time, that is. I'm sure there are products for informal businesses. No sip, I'll give her a chance to just come in and speak to it. But most of our products, services, you have to be formalized as a business. So that campaign is trying to say, here are products and services of the department. But because some of the services, they go beyond the department, SARS, as well as other players, they are invited, stakeholders, they are invited to be part of that program so that when I come and say, SARS says I'm not compliant, then it's easy to say, go to that desk there. This person says I'm not compliant with this, you understand the problem, then you'll be able to go there. It's just that today, of course, we had to come via the portfolio committee and account. In skills, I think there's a fancy word that they use, it's NEET, N-E-E-T. It's not in training. That makes the country to be prone to all sorts of destabilization. Now, as a country that wants to have a future, that wants to have doctors, that want to have workers, that want to have MECs, that want to have politicians, as well as legislatures. Fortunately or unfortunately, at this point, we do not have a choice but to try and respond to this urgent problem that is facing the country. So that's why, at this point, it seems that the emphasis is on the youth, which then talks about that issue of the 35 years. That is frustrating most people. It's because of this 44, when you've got almost half your population, youth population not working, and you're a country that is responsible, you do not have a choice, but you must intervene decisively. So that informs it. And I'm not saying I disagree or I don't agree, but I'm saying it's important that the country do something about it. Hence that emphasis on the issue of the 35 years. But I'm also not saying that the country shouldn't take care of other age groups. Then the other issue that I want to mention, you're going to cover the issue of, apparently there is a tongue meter. The issue of tongue meter will indicate whether that program is government or is private sector. Ntatumboy, under GTA, if you can just cover the issue of the work that programs that we are executing around people with disability, if there are any programs that we're currently implementing, if you can just speak on that. And the issues of bursary, there was a question around tourism. Yes, I know that the National Department of Tourism does issue bursaries, but maybe you can talk to it, whether here in Gauteng we have, or actually maybe speak to, there's a skills development agency of Gauteng under Department of Education. but I know that of lately they've been working also very close with the Office of the Premier. It's GCRA. So it's responsible for supporting youth in terms of skills development, yes, but they also issue bursaries. So what I did last time, so what they do is that the top 3 learners in each and every school, they are then targeted to say they are going to issue bursaries for those top 3 learners so that they can be able to enroll at universities. But of course, I know that Member Mfike raised the important issue of budget is always limited. I'm not sure whether they also go outside that top 3 learners. But what I know is that they are responsible for skills development. And if anyone wants their child to just check whether they can access issue of bursary, please do contact GCRA as well. As I've said, they're an agency of Department of Education, and they would be able to assist with that type of information. I also would like to request, so Nosip, we will cover most of the questions were directed at Enterprise Propeller around, so please do cover all the questions. Kasi Labs, there were also questions around Kasi Labs, Itu. If you can just speak to issue of Kasi Lab as well. There was a request to say digital schools, prioritize people with disability, GEP, please also touch on that as well.
30%. So depending on which industry you are at and what is on offer during the bulk installation, whether electrical or other related bulks, that's what to be on the lookout for. But what we can undertake to do is that there will be community liaison officer that will be appointed as part of the bulk and also the top structure installation. So communication would be out in the public in that regard. But what government can make undertaking on is subject to the cost of the construction. There would be the 30% of the value of the contract that would be open for subcontracting. Unfortunately, Re Ole Ongadile, so I don't know, because he was speaking about Sharia steel, which he was correct. It is not for steel, it's Fortune Steel. And we have worked with the company over a long time. The 20 million he referred to is actually the investment by the company, not what they derived from government. So I just needed to correct that. And the community is better placed actually to respond as to what they need to do in engaging with local companies for employment and the like. The matter of Tong Meya Hlanganan Extension 3, we're not involved. I think that was just being confused with the bulk installation in the precinct 2. I was clear that this site is adjacent the current operations, the phase 1, which is along the Atlas Road in the international airport. The next matter pertained to Ekasi Lab, some vacant land which is being used as dumping site. My take would be that the community knows about the IDP process, and that issue around school construction is the mandate of Department of Infrastructure Development in conjunction with Department of Education. Now, we can offer to take the matter forward, but engagement has to be approved within the IDP process and also the plans of the two departments. Memoachi had asked something that we are able to assist with, both the issue around what is doable around component manufacturing. And given the experience in question, I would offer to connect you with the Automotive Industry Development Center. That's one of our entities. So perhaps after the meeting, I can connect you to those. And the same with medicine manufacturing. So the precinct 2 that I mentioned has got an aspect of pharmaceuticals, but we also, through the Innovation Hub, have got focus on bioeconomy, which is related to medicine and the like. The other matter on the investment pledges and the like, so I can engage with Ntate if he so pleases that the 312 billion that was committed, we have claimed 30%, around just above 90 billion. And I can show how the conversion was made. And the return on investment, by the way, just to speak quickly to it, the investments that we have, as in the case of the precinct 1, we can report that what we are able to realize would, among others, include the property rates that are paid to the municipality, the utilities, be it water, electricity, but there's people employed that I spoke to. So the salaries that are paid to these people, there's income tax being paid to SARS. There's also export earnings that the country benefits from. I did say that company exports and the like. So that's how we calculate the return on investment. I think Mhlekazi was asking about patents and the like. We are able to help. Now, trademark registration or intellectual property registration vary expensive and it is a legal process. So if you do not mind, I can make connection for you in a way for us to assist. The last question I think I've dealt with as to where do we get the information about precinct 3 and where we at. So I would say be on the lookout for when the appointment of the community liaison officer, and we are required to have community participation in the project. So that is my response, and I will avail myself after we have closed for those that needing further information to connect them with colleagues. I don't know if Tebogo Musi is here from the Innovation Hub. Is a business development manager that I would want to connect you to. And my presentation did say that our presence in the corridor is through Katoras, it's through Tembisa, but there is some presence in Nigel and Tsakani. That is the presence that we have, and we do offer incubation mainly through the site in Katoras, but we can engage further after the meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Before you continue, just a note to the stakeholders who are here with the minibuses. They need to leave by 2 o'clock. So if you can go out by 1:45, so that you can pick up your lunch and something to drink and then get into the minibus, because they need to leave. They need to leave by 2 o'clock the latest. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to address the issue of the support bias to youth. Sometimes once we mention that we support youth-owned businesses, everything else that we've said before, people forget and think that we are only supporting youth. So at the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, we support all entrepreneurs, whether you are youth or you are not youth. We've got support instrument, all from the business development support and from the various grant support instruments I've indicated before. They cater for all entrepreneurs, irrespective whether you are 50 years of age. Actually, many of the businesses that we support, they are in the ages of between 40 and 50. So the reason why we've got a special fund for youth, which is blended, we're trying to encourage more youth to participate in entrepreneurship. But when we announce that, it doesn't mean we're not supporting all other categories. Also, I also wanted to mention that the fact that you didn't see your township on the list, it means that only in Q1, we didn't support people from your township. But in Q2 and the others, there will be people from the areas that we didn't cover at this point in time. Selina from Tsakane with the sewing businesses, you do have an opportunity to apply. We've got our team outside, so you can go and ask for more information in respect to what you want to apply for. There was also Miss Zwane, who said he doesn't have financials, but you have contract. So if you are looking for a loan, we will not dismiss you because you don't have a financial, but you must start from our pre-investment support, which is the business development support. We will assist you to get proper financial statement for your business, and we'll assist you to develop a business plan that you can be able to assist you to apply for funding. And also another question was regarding, in terms of the cooperative support program. Yes, there is a criteria for all our support programs. Whether it's a grant, you are needing to ensure that you are compliant, statutory compliant of your business. You must be a registered business. You must be compliant in terms of tax, because we are using taxpayers' money to support you. And also you must provide a proof of trading on the co-ops. That's why we said at least you must show track record for about a year. We're doing that so that we don't put good money after bad money. And we fund you and you actually not even do what you were supposed to do, even though we would have given you the equipment. I think the lady who wants to manufacture components, yes, the AIDC for automotive is an entity that is able to help you there, but you can start at GEP so that they can assist you to understand how to start a business. If you need entrepreneurship training, you can be able to be supported by GEP before you can even go to AIDC. Even the development of your business plan, you can be assisted through the GEP. And when you have finally decided and well researched what you want to do, you can come back to GEP for a loan. For the gentleman who was saying that we're not supporting the people with disability, especially the awareness sessions, we've got our information officer at the GEP desk. So what they do, they go to communities and actually share the work that GEP is doing and how to access all the support. So I encourage you to go to our desk and actually request them to come to your community, wherein there will be arranged session with all the people with disabilities. I also want to say that we are actually supporting people with disabilities. We've even met some of the associations, and we have a relationship in such that even when there are opportunities, as you have seen in our procurement target, we alert them and they apply and to be able to put on they respond to the request for proposals when they are there. We do make headways and actually reach out to associations for disabled. But there is a lot more that we can do, so we welcome having that awareness session. And then there was a question about how many township SMMEs that are in existence 12 months post-funding. I think we've just done an exercise recently where I think the Auditor General South Africa took a sample and actually they visited some of the SMMEs that we have supported. And all of those that were samples were all in existence. I think I've covered all the questions.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give an opportunity now for the MEC to also add her voice and say something about economic development. MEC, thank you very much. Can we have the 2 minutes. Oh, you can use this one.
I don't like to use this one.
Do you want to ask a question?
No, he's responding.
Oh, you're responding. Sorry, you may respond. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. Chair, and also welcome MEC. My name is Saki. I'm from the Gauteng Gambling Board. For those who are in the queue to go out, I might be giving you numbers. So maybe it's good to listen to what I have to talk about. Quite interesting, I'm going to talk 2 minutes. One is the issue of the mushrooming of illegal gambling that has been spoke about, especially starting from school level to tertiary level. There is a program that we are doing. We are calling it Taking Risk Wisely. We make sure that we go to school, we do school outreach program, we talk about responsible gambling. We even give the difference between a legal and illegal gambling platform. On the gentleman who spoke about the issues around those who are dependent on the grant and how they participate in gambling with a view of generating income is of great concern to us. And because you are a scholar, I'm inviting you. I'll be outside. Let's talk about it, because already we have spoken to NAFSAS, we have spoken to social development, we are intervening with the Department of Higher Education to make sure that we do campaigns targeted at beneficiaries of social grant so that they don't entertain the online gambling platform with a view of generating money. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you to the department. Ladies and gentlemen, don't leave. The MEC wants to have a word as well, so let's give her an opportunity. Thank you very much, MEC Ramagopa.
Sanbonani, Dumelang, Dimasiari, Tobel, Molweni, Goeiemiddag, Ling gape, good afternoon. Laitseba eo. That is the 12th official language of our country. Baetsa so, haba dumedisa. So, Chair, we are very inclusive in this space. We want to acknowledge everybody who is still here. Lebatsa mailing, we understand or lenaledi challenges to transport. So, it's unfortunate that I only got to engage you at the end, but we can still touch on one or two things. I think most of the issues have already been dealt with by the officials. Na ke batlo bua ka dilo tse 3 fela. Ke batlo tla ka way forward, ne? We've dealt with some of the questions and answers. Na ke batlo tla ka way forward of 3 things only. First and foremost, those ke batlo bua pele ka dilo tsa agriculture ke fetse ka tsona. Those who are in the agricultural space and want to engage on issues of agriculture. Tonight, re na le ntwe e bitswang webinar. Re tlo ntsha di opportunities tsa agriculture re bue ka the CASP program. The CASP program is the Conditional Agricultural Support Program. Yeah, the department. Kimo refang di grant tsa infrastructure, production inputs, all of our support programs, these are co-granting ya CASP. So, hona le ntate o buileng ka access to information. We don't want to hoard information. So, Rize, let us have an online session, because even when we are here, there are many people who are not here again. So, haritaka webinar, at least whether you are in Soweto, whether you are Kwatema, Hammanskral, Winterfeld, Noma Ganjani, you can log in ko webinar EU. So I will share the details of the webinar. I'll try and get those details, Mara. If you follow the Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, go Facebook. We've posted the link on the Facebook page, yeah, department. It is happening at 6 p.m. tonight. I am going to be on that webinar, and all of the officials of agriculture, Batawale on the webinar. You can send your questions, you can engage. Ritlo fanaka information ya CASP, because the application period ya CASP ya kwalwa in the next 2 weeks. So we need to make sure that we share information. So that is first and foremost. Number two, next month, we are launching a massive provincial-wide program. Again, we want to deal with this issue, yeah, access to information. But number two, we want to address the two key issues that are part of our mandate. Number one, ke unemployment. Ntate, aksam moni now, but he spoke about issue ya youth unemployment. Gore bana ba rona ba ya dikolong, ha ba tswa dikolong, they don't get employment opportunities. But let me tell you something, those opportunities, diteng in our various institutions, even in these different private companies, there are people who are advertising job opportunities. But the problem, ke gore batho habana that information. And they don't know where and how to engage with those opportunities. Number two is yadi SMMEs, SMME funding, SMME support, etc. Rona as Gauteng, we've got JEP. But at national, there are other institutions. Bo SEDFA, Bo NEF, ITC, Zining. So we want to end this thing, ya red tape. Ya gore motho ha batla ho apply la program ya government, you must apply at 12 different places and send 12 different application forms. Kaofela rona ro kopa di pampiri tse sa feleng, all kinds of things. So we said to ourselves, let us play our role in government and bring all these people into one place so that you can come Khaiwane. If you are applying for agriculture, you come this side. If you are looking for opportunities for youth, that side. How little over 35 and you know that you've got a nice business plan, you can come this side in one platform. So we are going to launch that program next week. And again, I hope you'll stay, you'll come onto our advertiser, go Facebook. We are going to do radio, we'll do everything. But we are going to launch that program. And I hope, and let me tell you the objective of that program. In that program, Ritze, we want to first, by the end of September, we want to employ 10,000 people into different employment opportunities, and we want to fund no less than 3,000 businesses in Gauteng. And those opportunities are real opportunities. We want to help people to access those opportunities. So we will be announcing that program. Luna, you are lucky you are getting the preview. Hariso Lonchi. That's why I can't even tell you what is the name of the program. My team is very upset with me, I'm sure. But I wanted to use this opportunity. The third thing, and can I ask the technical team, Morelin, to sing? Can you help me, tech team, and just put that thing that I sent you? Laitsebantwe, ibiswa QR code, ne? If you point your camera at this QR code, it's going to take you to a form where you can give me your information. Not everybody had an opportunity to speak today, and I know some people are shy in these types of forums. So we have created this so that after this meeting, little romeledi details salona and exactly what it is that you need our assistance with. We can then direct you accordingly, or if you want to engage with my office, you can send your emails directly to that email address, Elebonang, MECGDAD. It's a mail. Okay. MECGDAD@gauteng.gov.za. MECGDAD@gauteng.gov.za. Let's go shoot a snap, man. Let's say man, ya QR code, so that look no kana formung. Hale kana formung le tlabe le ngwala di details tsa lona and all of the things that you need. Hale shoot a snap ha ibereke. So please assist us. We want to continue talking to you. We want to continue engaging. And can the young people in this room assist also? We know how these things work. Tusang, scanang mo, so that we can talk to you after the meeting, and then we can continue the conversation. I said I only want to talk about those three things. So, ke yona ge way forward. After this meeting, if you want to engage with our office, there are my details. You want to talk to us? Scan there. And those who have left, ke sono ka bona, they would have missed out on this opportunity to talk to us. I think after this, Ketlareng, I think I've covered many of the topics. Please, please, please contact us after the meeting, and then we can take other issues forward. Ke a leboha.
Thank you very much, MEC, for your kind words. And now you also have direct access to her office, as she's indicated. So, ladies and gentlemen, it brings us to the end of this meeting. There's no other matters that we need to consider. I thank you for coming. I thank you for your questions. And we'll see you around maybe next year or the year or two when we'll come back again and interact with you. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.